everybody. I'm your host, Eric Byrne, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, and this evening, and tonight, in some parts of these worlds, we got to talk about it. A well laid plan is in effect. Dominican Republic tourist records are being broken every month this year so far, and the numbers have come in for March 2023 in late April. So we're going to talk about this, and boy, oh boy, opportunity is knocking for quite a few people. Not just if you're a real estate investor, but what about if you're in business? What about if you're in the travel and tourism business? What about if you're a company that does business all across the board in tourism, meaning excursion, show tickets, all kind of different things that have to do with tourists and guests in your country, in your city. But we got a lot to talk about. I dropped a video early today to spoil the surprise. But again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that can be in the chat room. Everybody else can watch, but only members with the icon next to their name can be in the chat room. Stop struggling now. Gear check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, I want to thank you so much for being here this evening. And please share the videos because you never know who's looking for an opportunity, who's thinking, I need to do something. And all of a sudden comes across their desk. Wait a minute. Why is everybody doing their tourism on the eastern side of the Dominican Republic? Not everybody, but 2/3 of the people are. But we're going to get into that shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, let's see who's in the house first on the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. We're here for you. If you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason why. Because only members with the icon can be in the chat room tonight. That means you have to sign up as a member. You see the dollar sign if you're on mobile. That's the only way. Or if you're on your desktop, you see a join button. That's the only way you can be here on Wednesday night in the chat room. Otherwise, sit back, relax, get your pen, pads, and papers ready, because this is how you make money in real estate. It's not just in Punta Cana or Dominican Republic area. This is how you make money in real estate or businesses. When you know what the future is bringing, you can make deals happen. All right, Laverne Penix is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, and he has the icon next to his name. And also, he's known in these parts as AKA Mr. Cool is here. And he brings his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and trailer. We started off with one person. Thank you so much for letting me know that. And thank you once again for being here and showing the support by being a member with the icon. James Way is here, and we know what this brings. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, where he has the icon as well. And he says it like it is. His tagline, the rent is too damn high, and it's not paying itself. Exactly right. I love that. He's exactly right. Hello, all got the notification. That's two people with notifications. But let's expand upon the rent is too damn high for sure, and it damn sure doesn't pay itself. But if you're using your money to help pay it, and I mean passive income, residual income, any other income that does not require you to physically or mentally work for it every day, 40 to 60 to 70 hours a week, that's the money that you want to pay for that too damn high of rent. That's the key right there, ladies and gentlemen. Can you get it? Can you set it up? Well, some people spend a lifetime doing that. 30, 40 years putting your money away. And then at the end of that time, after your 40 years worth of pittance, then you get an X amount of dollars sent to you. But what they don't tell you is the cost of living rises. So, did you save enough to live an extra 20, 25, 30 years or not? That's the problem. All right. Look who else is here. Victor Marrero is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he too has the icon next to his name. And once again, he brings his tagline. He's making this one the main one. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's right, Victor Marrero, another. Oh my, I forgot. Everybody here so far is one of those real estate investors making money happen passively. All right, this is going to be extraordinary for a little bit, but stay tuned. Did you know you can do no credit check, no qualifying, no barrier to entry real estate investing? It's not just limited to Dominican Republic. You can do this in the Philippines. You can do this in Thailand. You can do this in Miami. You can do this all over the planet. So if you live somewhere else and you're saying, hey, I don't want to talk about this Punta Cana thing, that's fine. But the same rules are going to apply, ladies and gentlemen. That's why sometimes you go downtown to the county planners, building department, you find out what's going to be out on the outskirts of town. And then you find out they're not going to even start building for another 2 or 3 or 4 years. And you go and say, you know what? I think I'm going to buy a little bit of acreage over here. Or maybe it's a good time to get that cheap apartment complex over here or duplex. Then after 2 or 3 years, the buildings start coming, the roadways come out there, the stores, the shops, the restaurants come out there. All of a sudden, your property is valuable for passive income. And you could have already started a business out that way as well. So these things hold true all across the world. So you don't have to be just in one location. You can implement this anytime you want to. So once again, thank you so much for being in the house, Victor Marrero. Very nice to see you once again. And it's all good. Here we go. So in case you didn't see the earlier video today and you just now joined us tonight, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. This is what we were looking for. We kind of knew it, but that's why I got anxious around the 9th, the 10th, the 12th, and here it is, the 19th. They didn't release this information until April 19th. I'm like, hey, hold on. You guys usually do it around the 8th, the 9th, the 10th. So we had to wait an extra week. David Collado, you let us wait for an extra week, week and a half to get the numbers that we knew were going to be the numbers. In case you do not understand what this means, this is 2 million tourists for the quarter, January, February, and March. 2 million visitors by air, ladies and gentlemen. Airline traffic to the Dominican Republic. Now, some of you may not understand why there's excitement in my voice. First reason, it's an all-time record. Not just a record for 2023, all-time historic records. Not ever have they had this amount of people visit January, February, March. Do we know why we have a record? Does anybody here? I'm pretty sure there are people that's been here for 3, 4 years. They have an idea. Let's see if we can get some other people on board. Now, here's the thing. We're going to look at this is actual air. Now, get this, ladies and gentlemen. How about adding nearly another 750 to 800,000 people due to cruise ships coming into the DR, roughly 200 to 250,000 people per month. So it's near 2.8 million, which is also an all-time record. I love the sound of this. Why? Because you have cruise ships, people come in land for 6, 7 hours. And again, I'm not adept at cruise ships because I always looked at it 2 different ways, and I'll just say what it was. When I looked at cruise ships, I sat there and I would say, well, they stopped here, but you know what? I'm just going to go there. Why do I need to hang on a cruise ship? While you're hanging on the cruise ship, I'm sitting there and staying however long I want. Your next stop, that's fine. I'm not chasing the cruise ship down, but I'm just saying, why am I just gonna stay here for 7, 8 hours and then have to get back on a boat when I can just stay here for days? And then I can just go to another spot and stay there for days. All island hopping, right? We can do that. So, all I'm trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen, you have everything at your disposal is information. That is key. Now, let's get into these numbers a little bit because here we go. All right. You have the number 2,076,171 increase compared to 2019, almost a 200% increase over 2021, and a 21% increase over 2022. March also set records for tourist arrivals with 740,000 tourists. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm loving it. And that's the tourists arriving by air. A 10% increase over March 2019, 20%. Okay, okay, okay. Here we are. This is in addition, the country received 280,247 cruise passengers for everybody on podcast. Some of you don't understand the significance. Like I just mentioned earlier, these people get off the cruise ships. They're going into the restaurants, the shops, which actually gives an ecosystem to the island all its own. People have their own businesses. They have their own transportation services. They send them to their restaurants. They have all kind of extra business opportunities, and now they're building another cruise port and making another one larger. They're making a cruise port on the West Coast, or the I shouldn't say west, southwest, I guess I will call it, of Dominican Republic. So there's going to be another cruise area. They're expanding and making the one in Santo Domingo bigger. They're making the one in Punta Cana bigger. They're making them bigger. So here's what's going to happen. All the major cities that have cruise ports, you might as well just add another 200,000 passengers on top of that in about 3 years. So instead of 280 cruise passengers in March, it might be something like 500,000, 450,000 in about 3 years. All right. So that's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, getting them from air, getting them from the ground. And now you have your own citizens being able to make exponentially more money because transportation services, excursions. You guys know when you go on trips, where's the ATV park? Where's the water parks? Where's all this extra golf courses if people golf? All that extracurricular means money is going into the economy. And that is a beautiful thing, especially on a small island. Now, let's get into it. Surpassing the 134,000 that arrived in March of last year. Look at this. It is double for cruise passengers from March of last year. And then, of course, the country received 2.882, almost 2.9 million when you include the cruise and air passengers. Okay. Some of you don't understand the significance, but I'm about to give it to you here shortly. But first of all, you need to pay attention to this for all us real estate investors. This is for hotels. Hotel occupancy rates also exceeded 80% at a general level. But this is what's more important. With an average stay of 8 days, that's 7 nights, 8 days is the average stay. That means some people stayed 14 days, some people stayed 3 days, some people stayed 10 days. We love this information. Average stay, 8 days, that's 7 nights. That's the average stay. We loving this information. The minister emphasized that these figures highlight the Dominican Republic position as reference in world tourism. Yes, Mr. Collado, you guys have done the damn thing. You keep doing whatever you're doing because all the real estate investors, all investors, period, business owners, they're all loving what you're doing to get more and more people there. We're looking for 9 million people coming by 2025, Victor Marrero, when your unit will be ready, when others will be ready in 2024, when we have Mr. and Mrs. Cool's unit's going to be ready. James Way, he's going to be in the ball game as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if that's not enough for you, let's get down to business at hand, shall we? Let's just get down to the business at hand because in case that's not good enough for you, let me ask you something. What if You knew that, in fact, I'm gonna bring this up because what if you knew that out of 2,000,000 passengers, what if you knew that 67 oh, scratch that. What if you knew 70% of all tourism that goes to the Dominican Republic is within 5 to 60 minutes, meaning from the Punta Cana airport, 45-minute drive to an hour drive away because 67% of all tourists go through Punta Cana right now. Where do I get 70%? Well, because 3%, or actually 4%, are in La Romana. La Romana has its own airport. That's 45 minutes to an hour away from Punta Cana. So when you add these together, that's 70% within an hour's drive is landing. Now, what's significant? When you have 2,000,000 people and 70% equals 1.4. It's a plus. It's a little over 1.4 million have come in the last 3 months. You divide 1.4 by 3 months, ladies and gentlemen, you're almost at 500,000 if it was 1.5. You are in the 400,000, 450, 460, 470,000 a month average. That means over 100,000 tourists are coming through this section of Eastern Dominican Republic every month so far. And it's going to happen for April as well because they broke records, almost 100% occupancy for hotels during Holy Week. So I'm thinking they're going to actually break the April record. We're going to actually be over 2.5, 2.6, somewhere 2.4 after the fourth month. It's going to be crazy, ladies and gentlemen. So all I'm trying to get you to understand is it's not just a small area. It is a radius that is beyond anything that has been seen in the Caribbean in a long time, ever since they had casinos in Cuba. All right. And that's over 50, 60 years ago. So this hasn't happened. The gold rush is on. Are you going to be part of it? All right. Enough. Let's see what you guys have to say, if anything. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome. Okay, Victor Marrero saying Punta Cana is exploding. A new hotel named Moon Palace Complex is coming in 2024. It's set to become the largest complex in the DR, comprising several towers, all inclusive. Can't wait. The Moon Palace Complex. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, you guys, I've been in the travel business so long, you have to understand history. You know where the Hard Rock sits? Victor Marrero knows very well the Hard Rock. Where Hard Rock sits right now, that used to be Moon Palace. To give you an idea, this Moon Palace that they're building is doing something that they shouldn't have done. They're going to be arguing about this. They are building towers like Larimar. Oh, yes, because 4 or 5 levels high has been the standard. So people were like, wait, what are you talking about? We can't build towers. Apparently, Moon Palace somehow has approval or something went on, and there's a fight brewing because the guys out at Cap Cana wanted to build towers at their places by the water, and they said no. So then the guys at Cap Cana, one of the owners out there, and the owner at Moon Palace, they had some sort of meetings and lawsuits going to try and block it. It's crazy. But just so you know, Moon Palace is all over the world. They are one of the franchises that the people in America usually don't know about, but they do the damn thing. So if they say they're going to have the largest complex and they're able to make it, oh, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be off the charts. You can best believe that, ladies and gentlemen. So just remember that these guys are no joke when it comes to building these mega resorts. And so This is going to be bringing in other people. Those towers, I believe, are going to be condo towers. So it'll be a condo hotel concept. And that means you might as well just add another 1,000 people that's going to be staying at this location easily. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Victor Morel. And don't forget, I got to mention this. I made a video a year ago about Nobu Hotels. In case you don't know, uh, De Niro, he is partnership in that chain. Nobu is a five-star hotel uh, party. I shouldn't say party, but a hotel. Then they have their clubs and things like that. It's pretty special. Restaurants and all that. That's coming to Punta Cana as well. You understand five-star, right, ladies and gentlemen? What starts happening is if you just have five-star in Cap Cana, that's one thing. But when you have moon palaces, when you have hard rocks, when you have this type of thing being built like Atlantida, then you have Oceana, then you have Larimar, then you have Vista Cana. Now you have La Romana, you have Casa de Campo, you have Baibe. And when you start bringing in several upscale, luxurious brands and names, like Margaritaville had to come. They went to Cop Cana. You start bringing in these type of names, next thing you know, prices start adjusting accordingly. So if you want to stay in one of these luxurious locations, the 5 or 6 five-star hotels is going to be at Larimar. All of a sudden, you understand the property that you own starts getting more value because people who stay in luxury, upscale environments spend more money. All right, that's how this works. It's not rocket science, but you have to create the ecosystem. Everybody knows to go stay at Cap Cana if you want five-star. Where would you stay otherwise? Then everybody knew, oh, you stay at Hard Rock if you want five-star. All right, so everybody knew that too. But now they're saying it's just not going to be Hard Rock. It's going to be other places outside of Cap Cana, and Vista Cana is right smack dab in the middle of it. Then you have Larimar. Then you have this cruise on land. Then you have Moon Palace shows up, and they're doing something that nobody else could do. Nobody. Other people might start doing it, but right now they're the only ones that can do it. So nobody can catch them. And anybody to duplicate them after it's built, they're going to have to spend damn near a third more. This is going to be Las Vegas type stuff on steroids. First, you start building a MG Mirage. Steve Wynn built the Mirage. Next thing you know, that was top dog. Somebody said, "Oh my, damn, we got to do something." So now the next person said, "Well, I'm going to spend $1.5 billion," and the next guy's like, "I got to spend $2 billion because I got to be better." Next guy says, "I got to spend $4 billion." Next guy comes with City Center, and they say, "Well, I don't know. Sky's the limit. 6, 7 billion. Who cares?" I mean, crazy stuff is happening, and it's now full effect. So if you get in now, you buy something under 250,000, basically under 300,000, you will be fine. Bring me up 4 or 5 years from now. All right. You'll be very, very happy. Everybody's happy as we speak right now who has purchased the previous 4 years. In fact, after you see this, you're like getting more and more excited. You just can't sit back and be like, oh my God. All right. So there you go. Correct. They are arguing the fact that hotels on the ocean side can't be higher than the palm trees. This would be an interesting thing. You got that right. If you let one hotel do it, what's stopping others from doing that? There you go. That's what I'm saying. Look, it's Moon Palace. And I hate to say this, just like in America, just like anywhere around the world, they have dollars. They're going to utilize those dollars. They're going to give them to the people that's going to make the decision. Those people are generally going to be corrupt like normal because if somebody's going to give you 500,000, 200,000, even 100,000 and say, hey, all you got to do is vote for so we can get towers and we're bringing in new jobs and more people are going to live here and all this, who cares about the repercussions? You can deny all the rest of the people, but just let us do our thing. That's what's happening. Victor Morero has it right on the head. And so we know generally what's going to end up happening, especially if it was in America, it wouldn't be an issue. They'd just say, okay, just bribe us and call it a day. we'll change the laws, we'll change the rules. So I don't expect Dominican Republic to do any different because they know who the Moon Palace is. So this is going to be a very interesting outcome. And quite frankly, I just got to admit, from my perspective, I'm I'm more like everybody's doing the palm trees along the coast. So when you say everybody's doing palm trees along the coast, and that creates a uniformity. So if we can all be 4 or 5 levels high, then that's it. So from the beach, from every place around, when you're on the water, everything looks uniform. Or are we going to do what we did in Miami, where everybody at one time had like a 8 level, 9 level highs, and all of a sudden they said, why don't we just allow 20-story highs? Is that what we're going to do here in Punta Cana? I think so. I think it's going to be along the same lines, because otherwise you would have had towers on Ocean Drive. Remember the Art Deco district? You could only build so high. That's what the deal was. But now you go down a little ways, probably down to what? Can't remember the street. 31st? Is it 30? Yeah, around 31st, 37th, somewhere like that. All of a sudden, that's one of the first towers that they built. So, and then all of a sudden, all the way down to Sunny Isles, Bal Harbor, and all that is now 20, 25-story high towers worth multiple millions. It's crazy. So I think we might find the same thing, but there's a slight difference. Most of the places are all inclusive. So will find out about this. So let me know what you guys think, because we have some real estate investors here. We have business owners here. We have investors here. Let me know what you guys think about this tourism numbers. This means if you are in the travel and tourism business, you have an opportunity. You could be in the spa business. You could be in the fitness and workout business. You can be in the transportation, meaning pick up, drop off. You can make deals now with expedition and excursion company, because now you're going to say, hey, when somebody needs us to come pick them up from the airport or come pick them up from the hotel to bring to your place, we want a set fee. You can do all kind of stuff because they're going to have record turnouts. And what's going to end up happening if somebody cancels, meaning they probably can't get their refund, but all I'm saying is if you use your credit card overseas, you can probably get your refund. But if somebody can't make their trip because they couldn't get picked up by from the hotel or the condo they're staying at, that means they could lose out on that money. And we're talking not cheap. We're talking 4 people is going to be over $500. So you're going to want to make sure you have reliable people to pick up your guests, to bring them to you. If that does not happen, you all of a sudden are missing $500 here, $500 there. Next thing you know, you could be out 4 or 5 grand a day. So of course you're going to lock in with the best guys. This also goes along with business. You can start businesses now, because if you can get a swath of land and put down a storage unit, there's going to be all kind of people living there temporarily for the winter, or don't live there for the winter. They're going to have guests. People are going to say, okay, I'm going to take this stuff out of my house because this is the stuff of my stuff that I like. I'm going to go put it in storage. When I come back, I'll take it out of storage and bring back the beds and whatever else that we like. People do all kind of different things. This is why you want to have storage areas, which I don't even know if they're building them in the DR, but they need to start. Right? They need to start. All these people that own apartments, I mean, the condo market is booming. Where are people going to keep things? How about little like scooters, golf carts, golf clubs, all these things that you could use and break out when you come back, or let your guests use, and you don't want to keep in the place, or however you want to structure. You have all kind of opportunities, but storage units would be key right now for building in the DR. All right. That to me would be something that's pretty special, especially the way they're doing. If you can buy some land, if you can get the land, because right now the land is a premium. We're almost at $200 a square foot for most properties. square meters, square foot. But the fact of the matter is, one of these days when it gets to 200, it's going to be very, very interesting. Right now, we're probably in the 125, where it all depends on who you're buying from, but it could range from 100 to about 150 a square foot. It's just a matter of time. Next year, it'll probably be 200 square foot. So we will see. Here we go. If they start building towers on the ocean side, that would be bad news for Larimar. It will be view blocker. Maybe. I don't think so. Well, I don't know because it's only on the horizon. It's not like you're really right behind the building. So being like, I think you're gonna be like 3 miles away or something, you'll just still see on the horizon. But it does have potential because there's a lot of factors, quite frankly. The reason I say this is because remember, Larimar isn't level. It's already up 110 meters. And actually, I saw something where it's actually more like 140 meters high. So we're already up there, 140 meters. Then when you start building another 10 floors, so you're going to be 200 and some meters up on the 10th floor. Two with 250 because remember between floors you're going to have a 2 foot usually, either it's crawl space or connection spaces. So you're going to be, like 10th floor up, you're going to be 260. That's pretty high. 260 meters high. That's up there. So they will not have towers that are going to be even, I don't think 25 feet high. I don't. So they would have to basically be, they're going to have to be up there. Remember, 250 meters is 750 feet high. They're not going to allow structures that high. So all I'm saying is they might allow 15, 20 floors, but even the 20 floors isn't high enough to get up there. That's only 200 feet. So once again, it's not going to block it in reality, but it will show. You'll see the outline. Uh, in case some of you, and I know Laverne Penix, he probably knows what I'm talking about. It's going to be something similar to if you're in Summerlin or if you're in by North Las Vegas, if you're in the foothills, and you look at the strip, that's what it's like. You'll still see the strip, and then you'll see beyond. So it'll be fine. But ideally, you don't want that because he does have a point. If they were able to build like a freaking 25-story or 30-story high place, that that could be a problem. I will say that. That could be a problem, especially if everybody's able to do it. Ooh, I am doing my storage research. It's wide open. Exactly, James Way. Very, very happy to hear that. All right. I know of the Moon Palace in Cancun. We saw it last time we went, but do you recall any other location? Moon Palace, Cancun, Moon Palace. Hold on. Here, I'm going to bring up Moon Palace. Check this out. Cabo, Moon Palace, Jamaica. Let me see. It's Cabo, right? Dream. I'm thinking of Dream Resort. Hold on. Let's go to since you brought it up. Moon Palace sold a lot of places at one time. They were all inclusive, and for whatever reason, they sold their spots. So let's go look and see where they're at. They are at Cancun, Jamaica, Cancun. That's it. Ocho Rios. That's like Grand Cayman. That's it. Unbelievable. They only have 3 moon palaces, but they're revamping. But just so everybody understands, look at this. I'm gonna show some moon palace stuff, all right? Just so you guys understand. And then I'm gonna go show some, since we're talking about moon palace. Here we go. All right, so let's get a little look at what they got. We don't want to see that, do we? No, we don't want to see the cave. We don't want to see that. Let's just go with the resorts. Let's go look at some of their resorts. They usually have pools everywhere. I'm trying to think where Moon Palace is, but it's okay. Come on. Moon Palace, Cancun. Victor Murray said Moon Palace, Cancun. Jamaica, Nizuk. I don't know where that is, but here, we'll get a little view of Moon Palace. Might as well give them a little promo. They're coming back to Cana, so it's going to be very interesting. Wave pools, no surprise there if that's true. They're going to be off the charts. All right, let's see, 679 a night in Cancun. Wait, is that all inclusive? No, that's what it is. All inclusive, 440. Four Diamond Paradise. This is what it looks like in Cancun. Always known for their mini pools. That's why, in fact, let's go look at this. Okay, let's go look at this. I'm going to show you guys something. Let's see if we have it. What happened to Moon Palace 2015? The Palace Resort brothers split up the resorts after the father died. So this is how things changed. The Moon Palace Casino Golf and Spa Resort in Punta Cana won't be rebranded as the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino until later this summer. See, guys, you got to know a little history. I know history. It used to be big time. I just can't remember the places, but again, they started consolidating or doing whatever. I thought shut down. I didn't even realize they were open until I saw Moon Palace on a few locations, but I don't know where they are. Just like I don't know where Nizuk or I think it's Nizuk. I don't even know where that is. Does anybody know where Nizuk is? Nizuc. We learn something every day. All right, but anyhow, there's Moon Palace. I figured I'd get into it a little bit because I like a little history, so people understand these guys are no joke. They've been here already before. They've had mega palaces. They've had these mega spots. I could have sworn they had one in San Jose del Cabo at one time too. Um, so I can't remember any other real locations. I do know about the Cancun, but they used to be all over the world, big time. And Hard Rock, they laid the bones for the Hard Rock. Imagine the Hard Rock in 2005. All right, take away the water park. But imagine the Hard Rock. Everything there at the Hard Rock is still there from 2005. That's what Moon Palace was. All the things that were there. That's how crazy. All the land they had. And whatever happened, the father died, and I guess they had a problem, so they gave it to the Hard Rock. Hard Rock got lucky as hell because in order to duplicate that would have been who knows how much. So here we go. Victor Morel, even if you don't have ocean view, you still will have hotel line view like Las Vegas view. The view at night will be beautiful anyways. Exactly, Victor Morel. Even in worst case scenario, that'll happen. But I personally don't think the towers are going to be able to build there. I mean, even if they were 10 feet high, 15 floors high, that's not even going to be an issue. You could see over it clearly. And from the angles you're going to have from over 2 miles away, 3 miles away, you'll be looking down over the cruising over the top of them onto the water anyhow, because it's just a horizon. It's not like we're staying there like in Vegas where we're on the strip or 2 blocks over from the strip, so you're going to be blocked, which is one of the reasons why they didn't want City Center in Las Vegas, because they were like, you're going to block the strip view from hotels on either side that had towers. That was one of their things until it wasn't a thing, right? Then all of a sudden they just said, well, we'll just block it. Who cares? Same thing. Resort worlds and all that comes. So there's always going to be change. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know you might be trying to get in today in the chat room. Well, if you can't get here on the chat room on Wednesday night, it's because you have to be a member with the icon. If you're not a member with the icon, you can only watch. You can only get your pen, pads, and papers together. But hopefully, what we're talking about tonight, you understand that this is the same thing you can be doing yourself for any place in the United States, outside the United States, that if there's a building boom, you just got to be ahead of it. And if you can buy at a lower rate, a much lower rate, by the time it catches up in 2 years to 5 years, you get to make out like a bandit, but you prepared early. And by preparing early, you get assets, and people are like, "How do these guys keep doing this?" Well, it's not rocket science. The wealthier people, they go around and they have people go look at the building and development plans for the city or the counties or the states, and then they figure out where they need to buy something while everybody else is thinking, "Oh, this is the hot spot." All right? So, same kind of thing. There's something in Atlanta, Georgia that is booming all over. But then they said, "Hey, we wanna have a soccer team." Well, then somebody actually bought acres in a county that had cheap ass acres. And so now that may be where they're gonna have the soccer team, professional soccer team. This is what we're referring to. Same thing is going on in Punta Cana right now. The property values are still inexpensive. The land values are still relatively inexpensive. So you can get in now. If you know that they're going to spend billions of dollars in the city and around the area of Punta Cana in the next 10 years, that's all you should know. You want to check out the downtown map? Then search the channel for downtown Punta Cana development. I have a video. I have a couple of videos. We have the PDF in those videos down below in the description. There'll be a PDF where you can actually pull it up yourself. And if they tell you right now it's going to be $400 million in the next 10 years, wrong. Inflation goes up. The 400 million is going to be 700 million if they wait 8 years. All right. The cost of materials and the cost of building rises. So there's no way if they're telling you a certain number now, 5 years later, that number is going to be a half to two-thirds more. So these guys are going to end up spending $1 billion over the next 10 years. So is Larimar, because that's what they're doing. It's going to take them 7 to 10 years to build. They're finished building that complex. So everything's going to cost more. They're talking $400 million just for the first phase. How much do you think this whole thing's going to run? A few billion. All right. So this is going to be very, very interesting. So anybody else entering in the market, they're going to be prohibited when 7 or 8 years comes from now because the property is going to cost, and the cost per square meter is going to be off the charts. It might be $500, $600, $700 per square meter. So we will see. All right. I had to get in touch with this one today, ladies and gentlemen, after I got excited about the tourist records, only because I like seeing something that I talked about 2-3 years ago when I said, "Hey guys, they're going to be busting records." And when people said, "Oh, they're not going to bust their 7.4, 7.6 record," I said, "Okay, watch." And in fact, they're going to shatter that record when 2 or 3 years on the other side of that comes. And here we are. This is going to be the first year right here. So we're expecting that 8 to 8.5 million visitors this year in the DR. So they're going to break the record. Then the next year, we're going to be in the nines. And then it's a wrap because the momentum is going to be everybody in the world is going to be trying to get here. And all of them are going to hear about, "Oh, yeah, you could have bought these villas and townhomes for 150 grand, 190 grand." They're going to be like, "Yeah, but I just showed up and everything is like 300 grand and up." Exactly. Too late. It's already on fire. You should buy. It's on fire. The match is lit. Let's go. All right. And I'm very proud of all the members of the SSN Nation who actually bought real estate in the Dominican Republic and around the world at this point in time. You have done a great job, especially if you are in the pre-construction markets. That is beautiful. Oh, by the way, I got the English version of River Island in case anybody's interested in River Island. They don't have anything in their contract remotely upsetting except for one thing, and it's not even upsetting. I can't even be mad. They're basically it's not open Airbnb. You can't do Airbnb. You're gonna have to go with their designated tourist people, but in their contract, it does say that you could use somebody else, but of course, it's gonna have to be approved. That's it. Other than that, there's nothing else there. $2 a square meter is your HOA. So all that's included, just like Larimar. They have one thing that's different than most people. If you have a penthouse unit, they charge you not only the $2 a square meter, but for your penthouse, they charge $50 per month. So I don't know if it's that's kind of like uh well, they have terraces that are 500 square feet. So that would normally be like an extra $100, but they're just charging $50 for everybody that has terraces, just a lump sum, plus your $2 a square meter interior. That I've never seen before, but that's in their contract. But there is nothing else. There is no right of first refusal if you wanna sell it. There's no you gotta pay for the amenities. There's no nothing. No right of first refusal, none of that. So again, there's no contract. The only contract that has that is Cruise on Land. So far, I have never seen a contract like Cruise on Land. But that's again, they're trying to create an amusement, basically timeshare amusement. They're locking you in all down all the way around. So keep that in mind. So we will see what's going to happen. Hey, money people, look who's in the house. Georges Charles is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And speaking of wealthy, Georges Charles is going to be wealthy. Why? Because he bought 4 properties. He's tied with several other people that have bought 4 properties. And he says, again, I said it once, hey, money people, he is the emerging millionaire in the house. And we have a few others. But thank you so much for being here. Georges Charles says 2 million people. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God is right. And did you know at the beginning I said what they said? 80% hotel occupancy. That does not mean that's Airbnb occupancy, but 80% hotel occupancy is what we want to see. You know why? This is major. You guys have to understand how ecosystems work. If the hotels are charging people $1,000 per night or $1,000 per person or 400 per person, and it ends up costing people $1,000 per night for all inclusive. Well, now you understand why I always told you amenities, 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 because if your amenities are included, some of those amenities at the all inclusive are included in your project. Now people start scratching their head going, well, wait a minute, I'm staying in a hotel unit and I'm spending $800 per night and I can actually stay over here and pay $295 a night, and I still can go, okay, it's not the ocean, but I'll go to the man-made beaches. I can still go and play sports and go play basketball, and I can still go to a spa if I want to. I can still go shopping. I can still do all this stuff, but now we're saving 4, 5, $600 per night, and we're gonna stay here on average 7 days. Yes. How about this, Georges Charles? 80% hotel occupancy in March, and the average stay of a person was 8 days. That means 7 nights, 8 days. Average. I like those numbers. That is boding well. And now you guys understand why I always said we want to sleep 4. Minimum. If you can, always try to get 2 bedrooms or larger units. All right? That's what you want to always try to sleep more people. You guys can see where this is going, I hope, because when you add another million people coming in next year, 2024, what's going to end up happening? Families are going to start coming here for the hot spot. Now you're going to be dealing with, I have 5 people with me. Where can I stay comfortably? I have 6 people with me. Where can we stay comfortably? I have 9 people with me. Where can we stay comfortably? We have a business convention here and we have 200 people we need to put somewhere. Where can we stay? And if it's costing $1,300 per night, like at the Hard Rock, they're not going to stay there. They're going to be like, no. If it's going to cost 7 or 800 like a room, no. They're going to say, well, we'll pay 350, 400 and get ourselves a 3-bedroom. And it's a condo. So that means a fridge, even though it's not all inclusive, but we're saving 800 to $1,000 per night. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ecosystem that you're setting up. You're in. You're going to win. You can win. Exactly. Tourists. That's it, Georges Charles. Tourists, 2 million tourists over 3 months. Oh, it's exciting. Oh, it's exciting. It's going down. Almost averaging. It's incredible. When you throw on the cruise, it's 2,882,000 people when you throw in over the last 3 months. Cruise include the 700 and something thousand in cruise. That is serious. And we knew it was gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are here for the ride. Eric, record numbers. Oh my God, really? Yes, it's going down. It's already happening. It's going down. And in case you did come in a little bit late, I will bring it up so everybody can see it. It's at in fact, I think I have it down below in the description. I think that's where I have the article for Dominican Republic. So I will bring it up right now so everybody can see it, just in case you missed the beginning. But here we go. Let's see if I can find it. Uh, I don't have it. Here we go. I know where it is now. Hiding out on. It's already. We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there. We get the excitement. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we have the excitement in the air. No, no, no. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's 913. That is from that is from here we go. Last month when it was 913,000. Here we are. There we go. They busting the record, ladies and gentlemen. 2 million tourist arrivals, not cruise ship arrivals. Here we go. Look at this. Country received 1,020,000 visitors in March alone. Ooh, I feel giddy. That includes the cruise ship passengers. But here's the number, George's Charles, 740,334 tourists by air. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 280,000 cruise passengers for a total of 1 million visitors. And over the last quarter, 3 months, January, February, March, 2.88, 2.882,698 visitors, including cruise and air. That's almost a million per month combined. Next year, ladies and gentlemen, I got news for you. It will be over a million per month on average. Something catastrophic would have to happen to stop it, but it's going to be over that number next year. Why? Well, let's just call it what it is. There's going to be another 5 to 10,000 condo, villas, and units that's going to be built this year that are going to be available next year. That means more people are going to be coming anyhow. Then those people are going to let other people know that some of those 5 to 10,000 units are going to be available for rent. Friends, family, relatives are all going to be coming occasionally. So that's going to add to the visitor totals. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. Wedding venues are going to start popping up. It's all going down. All right. There's the article right there. So you can read it. And everybody else still keeps denying themselves success. You don't have to do it. It's that simple. You want to get in? Okay, get in. You can buy yourself for $100,000 a condo. A one-bedroom condo is 90 grand at Larimar. A studio unit is under 100 grand at Cruise on Land. But again, look for the Cruise on Land video, all right, because it's no longer number one. But I'm just saying, you still have Seven Palms. You can buy a one-bedroom for 120,000. It's across the street from the lake. The man-made beach at Cana, another luxury property. I put in a link to the Dominican newspaper. I don't know if it. Yeah, it looks like you caught it. There we go. Record numbers. Curtis Davis has showed up. Welcome. to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night live stream. He has the icon naturally next to his name. And you know what he does? He brings his tagline, and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night live stream, Mr. Financial. In these YouTube streets, he's known as Mr. Chili Davis. Not drop the Mr. part, but it's Chili Davis. Go check him out. We need him to get to 1,000 subscribers. Record numbers in the DR. Exactly. It's a party going down, ladies and gentlemen. How much do you think your property values are going to go up when you have high demand? You guys know how this works. In America, when there's high demand, property values go up, right? Simple. Same rules apply. No difference. George says, Eric, I don't see the article in your description for the tourism numbers. I put a link in the chat room, so you'll be able to get it from there. I'll have to add it. I dropped a video earlier today, so that means that's where I put it earlier. So I probably didn't include it on this one then, if it's not there. So I dropped in the chat room. How many went to Punta Cana? George's Charles. We're going to base it on last month. So as I was saying, last month, 67% of all tourists went to Punta Cana, but the other caveat is 4% went to La Romana, which is an hour away. La Romana has its own airport. So the way I look at it and the way I do my numbers, 70% of all tourists that go to the Dominican Republic are going to be within an hour radius of Punta Cana. 70% of 740,000 means you're over 500,000 people. Am I right? Yeah. 70% of 740,000. Yes, that's over 500,000 people, which means 125,000 people per week. How do we love that number, ladies and gentlemen? Do we love that number? Do you now understand how many people could say when they heard me talking about this 3.5, almost 4 years ago, when they were listening, going, why is this guy talking about this Dominican Republic like it's going to be something special? I don't understand. I get it. Not everybody can see it, but that's why we had to talk about it and continue to talk about it, because everybody can't see what they have here. It's a gold mine. Something catastrophic would have to happen to stop it, but unfortunately, that won't even stop it. Or fortunately, that won't stop it. So what do? Google Calculator. And that's just this year. Some of us won't even have any projects finished for another year to 2 years. So like Panorama Garden, I'm not a part of anymore, but see, that won't be finished till next year. The reason why I say that, if they told you any different, is because Panorama Lake is still not open. They finished the exterior of Panorama Lake a year ago. They just, oh man, you guys should see the restaurant at Panorama Lake inside Vista Cana. Woo, it looks beautiful. Better than the renderings. My God, but nobody still lives there. After a year, they've been fixing things up. It's still not done. So I'm thinking Panorama Garden, Panorama Park, they're not even nowhere near finishing even just the gray work, meaning the cement. So it's going to take over a year from the time they finish their gray work, and they're nowhere near. So I'm anticipating Panorama Park, Panorama Gardens to be at the end of 2024, maybe even 2025. So anyhow, here's the number, 740,000. I'll just use it rounded. Times 0.7, 518,000 divided by 4, 129,500 tourists on average per week in the month of March. I'll take that. And we'll also take the 80% occupancy for hotels. They're going to bust the record this month in April too, because they had 2 weeks of Holy Week. I don't understand. I guess in Dominican Republic, it's 2 weeks, not just one. They were over 95% occupancy, 95 to 100% occupancy hotels in the DR. during Holy Week. That is incredible. So we know they're breaking records in April. So again, just expect another 600, 650 to 700 and some odd thousand people for this month in April, and we're not even done yet. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, that these guys report something like 4,000,000, 3.7? That would be awesome, right? 3.7 to 4,000,000 tourists after the fourth month. And we know what happened last year. June, July, and August broke records. In July of last year, they had 700 and some odd thousand tourists arrive in the Dominican Republic. Do you think it's going to be any different this year? I don't. I think it's going to at least be 700,000 plus. And I think 600 and some thousand is going to be in June. The question is, how many will there be in May when it's kind of a pseudo off season? That's going to be what the kicker is going to be. We're going to find out. This is going to be very interesting. This is exciting for me, just because we talk about what possibly can happen, and then you're just watching it over time like it's a slow roll. You're like, okay, we're telling you this in 2021. People are like, there's no way it's going to have 8 million visitors by 2023, Eric. No way there's going to be 9 million to 9.5 in 2024, Eric. No way there's going to be 10 million by 2025, Eric. Now, you guys so sure about that? It's going down. Are you in for the ride? All right. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. 70%, I'm assuming the number is going to be the same. First of all, this is not something new. We knew at one time 52% of all travelers were going to Punta Cana. There is no other location that is making things built for European, Canadian, and American travelers. They're building 4-lane roads. They're upgrading the infrastructure. They're doing everything to make it feel like you're in Europe or you're in America or you're in Canada. They're doing this on the eastern seaboard. Now they're doing it in La Tiranas or Samana area. They're doing it at La Romana area, Costa de Campo, and all that. They're creating this. Santo Domingo is already an international city, but a lot of people don't stay down there. They'd rather stay in the eastern coast because it's designated, it's designed for tourist travel. So they just expanded on it. They have plenty of jungle land and they're making use of it. And don't let them do that airport. These numbers I'm giving you does not include the airport. If they do add this other airport that's 25 miles away from the Punta Cana airport, ladies and gentlemen, then you might as well just add a couple hundred more thousand people each year. Because if you think my numbers are crazy, actually they're going to be way under. Instead of there being 9 to 9.5 million tourists coming in 2025, if they have an airport that gets out there at 2024, there's going to be 9.5 to 10 million in 2024. And then after it's established more and people realize there's an airport there, you're going to be at 10 million in 2025. It's going to go ballistic. So hold on tight. Make sure you guys, make sure you handle biz. Make sure you stay with your units because it's going to be off the charts. And everybody who has multiple units right now, you guys, can you imagine 2 or 3 times the value of what you purchased in a matter of 2 or 3 years? You could be looking at that. And interest rates will have dropped. So now people are going to be able to borrow in a year to 2 years from now. Can you imagine what's going to happen? It's going to be pandemonium over there. Raining money. And things are going to be expensive too. All right. Let me know what you guys think. So I don't really have much more to talk about tonight because that's one of the main things I wanted to get across. Because we have everyone seemingly here in the house tonight who has purchased in that area. Even if it wasn't Punta Cana area, you're going to still benefit from anywhere in the Dominican Republic that takes tourists. Las Tiranas, Samana, with less than 200,000 people annually that go to their airport, they started building over there. Their condos actually cost more than stuff would cost in Punta Cana area. That's how crazy this is getting. Puerto Plata, Sosua area, increasing their cruise port. I mean, they're trying to expand their airport, Santo Domingo. But you guys already know it's in stone. And don't let 67 or 70% of all tourists to the Dominican Republic land in Punta Cana, but that's what's going to happen. Kathmandu Park, even though it's not what we call the best of things right now, maybe it'll be better. People know what it is. They want to be there. Cirque du Soleil, Coco Bongo, people want to come. Wonderland, amusement, people want to come. And then you throw in things like, well, if Moon Palace gets approved, and you already know Hard Rock and Cap Cana is blowing things up where they're at. Now all of a sudden you have Larimar City, Cruise on Land, and Vista Cana. Now you have something for everybody. You go, some people are like, okay, I don't need to stay there. I'll go stay in Los Corrales, El Cordacito. I'll stay at Macau. I'll stay in Varun. They'll be like, that's where I'm gonna stay. Other people are gonna be like, no, no, I want a little upscale. So that means I gotta pick the top 5 spot, top 6 spot. Because I like the little extra walkways, the extra gardens, the extra ecological trails, extra amenities, and it's still upscale with restaurants, bars, nightclubs. I'm going to stay at that location. I'm not going to stay at all inclusive. Then other people are like, I'm staying at all inclusive because I don't need to leave. We'll just stay here. And I'm willing to spend $1,000 per night or $800 per night. But if you have a hotel, I mean a condo, and if people are spending 800 a night, 700 a night, and you have a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom or larger, your value of your place is going to be significant because they're going to sit there and go, yes, I can spend $700 per night for a 3 bedroom penthouse. 700 a night for a 3 bedroom penthouse because the 3 bedroom penthouse right now does not cost 700 a night anywhere. Any project, they're all less than 700 per night. But one day, people will be able to charge 700, 1,000 per night. That means the property was worth a lot more. All right, just keep that in mind. So we will see. Eric, wasn't last year 8 million people? No, um, not by tourists. No, they included cruise ships. I don't include cruise ships. We don't care about the cruise. I mean, we do care about the cruise because it's an ecosystem. But no, we're looking for air tourist only. So no, they didn't make 8 million. They got close 7.5 million total. But we're talking about air passengers. When I talk about these numbers, I mean air passengers. So like right now, we're at 2 million air passengers over the last 3 months. That's what I'm talking about. We want 8 million air passengers this year. That's what we want. Guess what? We're ahead of schedule because 3 months, we got 4 times 2 is 8 million. We're ahead of schedule. And I think we're going to have the same numbers around 700,000 again. Well, somewhere between 650 and 750 again in April. The question is what's going to happen in May, and what's going to happen in October, November. That's the basis. Can we still get there? And if May ends up being 600 and something, now we're going to be close to almost another 2 million for the next quarter. That would be 4 million. And then things are going to get very interesting. Very interesting at that point because there's going to be some new projects popping up that's going to be available. Like Panorama Gardens should be done, I would think, in the next month, next 3 months. So that's going to bring thousands of people coming to their units and bringing friends and family, hanging out in Vista Cana. And some more villas are going to be available at all the Primaveros, all the Recital, Las Palmeras, Recital is going to be done with their villas. A bunch of villas are coming online in the next 6 months. And villas usually mean 4, 5, 6 people. They're coming. And all that is tourism. That also means when people come, they're going to find out real fast what they own. They're going to come to their spot. They're going to be sitting at their spot, and then they're going to say, man, all we have is a pool and a fitness center. So now you guys want to go downtown and pay at Yo Say Fitness, get that pass. I got something from Vista Cana today, and I was just like, this is interesting. So right now, since there's no sports complex, they have it where they're sending out a promotion to Punta Cana owners or Vista Cana owners, and they're saying you get a free week. And I can't remember what the fitness club was. And I'm like, okay, a free week, that's standard issue. Or they said you can pay for your membership. Now, remember, their sports complex isn't going to be done for probably 2 years. So 2025, 2026. So any guest that's going to stay at Vista Cana, all they're going to have is basically whatever's in their complex and the man-made beach. That's it for 2 years. The golf course may be ready at the end of this year, but that's it. And the golf course you have to pay for. So keep in mind, 2025 is going to be pivotal because you can have things such as this. You could have first phase of Oceana in El Cordacito, Los Corrales. You could have first phase Larimar, first phase Cruise on Land, more Vista Cana projects, more downtown projects, all online in 2025. That's thousands of units, and that brings online where people are going to have choices. You can forget the pool and fitness center because I talked about Riviera Costeño earlier today. Their clubhouse, they have something that's nobody else has so far. Video game room. You know where the kids are going to be hanging out. They have that in their clubhouse. Also in their clubhouse, which other clubhouses kind of have too, game room, billiards, the foosball for soccer, and a few other things. They also have co-working spaces. They also have barbecue grills, restaurant, and bars in this location. They have golf carts and electric hookups there. This is going to be off the charts when they finish that in 2.5 years. So that's 2025 as well. So all of a sudden, you're going to have all these things online, and people are going to have so many different choices. And why are they going to stay at your place? Is it going to matter? You were lucky enough to buy something for $200,000 or less. Is it really going to matter? Because you will be able to charge $150, $175, $200 per night with all those amenities. And you can stay some other place that doesn't have any of the amenities, but it's probably going to cost a little bit less. It's going to be beautiful work, ladies and gentlemen. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. Let's go. Where are these villas coming up? Primaveras, Las Palmeras, Recife. They have delivery right now. They're on the side where Primavera is. You have more stuff, more villas and townhomes inside Vista Cana. Primavera 2, Primavera 1, White. I always say White Sands. White Sands is out of, it's on the other side of Los Corrales, El Cordacito. There's a villa project near downtown that's called White, and I call it White Sands all the time. I can't remember the name of it. They're the same builders for the beach, but they have their complex downtown. They have lots of roads in there. I don't know how many villas they put in there, and all those villas were like 140, 130 at the time. They're probably 170 now or 180, but that's where they're at. They have them all over the place. What number of tourists are you saying is the estimate? I am reading there's an estimated figure of 4.9 million international tourists by 2025. This is just Punta Cana, Bavaro area. Victor, we're gonna pass that this year. You do realize they're already at 2 million already. Oh, you mean Punta Cana? Punta Cana is already at. Hold on a second. Let me get my mind right. Let me go look at something real quick. This is 2 million. So we're at uh, uh, 1.4. We're around 1.4 already. So it could be 4.95 at the end of this year. 4.95. That means 7.58 million. Yeah. So it ends up being about the right numbers. So yeah, we're going to be at 4.5, 4.9, 5 mil, which means we start doing that calculation, that's a whole different ball game. That means we're going to be, if we're at 5 million, that means, does that mean 9 million this year? I don't think so. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. These new hotel chains coming to Punta Cana already know the numbers. They aren't dumb. They know better than anybody the numbers. Otherwise, they wouldn't be building a large scale like that. There you go. There's your sign already. And furthermore, you guys already knew 2 years ago. Whoever was here 2 years ago when I did the first downtown development plan, and they had their 10-year plan. You guys already saw what they were doing. So you had to figure there must be a reason why they're building all of these condo hotels, all of these other extra hotels. They knew what they're doing. They already know people are coming. And like Victor Morel says, you know who already knows who's coming is any hotel, any project that is of large scale. They know why tourists are coming. So yeah, we're gonna be there, Victor Morel. See us in 4.94. It's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be more than that. We're gonna be at 9.5. They're gonna be at 9 times 7. We're gonna be at like 6 million in 2025, in my estimations. It's gonna be way past this 4.9. I mean, I'm being a little cocky about it, but I already told you guys, and so far I've been on track. And we're gonna find out if I'm gonna be on track this year as well. It looks like we're on track thus far, though. We're going good. We're going real good. We're gonna be in the 8 mils. So we should be in the 5, 6, 7 mils. We're gonna be up there. We can get to 7 mil in Punta Cana. You guys might not believe it. It might be doable. And especially if you get another 740,000 possibly coming through. It's gonna be very interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very interesting. And Victor Morel, where are you getting this 4.94 million? He's using the tourism number. 4.95 tourists in Punta Cana 2025. That is insane. Yes, Victor Morel is exactly right. He's using the yeah, he's saying it right here. From the Department of Tourism, newspaper, and Google, numbers will be crazy in a couple of years, especially as the economy starts stabilizing. That is where the extra comes from. See, these guys are going by what they're building. That's what you have to understand. They know what they're building, and they know what hotel units are, and they know what the occupancy rate is. So therefore, they can extrapolate the numbers. But what they don't extrapolate is when the interest rates come down and money is on steroids, people are traveling all over the place. That's what's not included in their equation. Also, what's not included in their equations, they don't know how many actual condos, villas, townhomes are going to be available. Because remember, you can only stay for so many, you can only stay in what's available. So just what happened this past week where they had 95 to 100% of all hotels on the island were booked for Holy Week. That means people had to do other options looking for the short-term rentals. They can't account for that. So if you know you're going to add an extra 100,000 rental units next year, they're not going to account for that. But if you start accounting for it, then you start going, well, wait a minute. Whether it's visitors or whether it's owners, you know another 100,000 people are coming to the island. And then after that unit's available, if we have situations like Holy Week where you have damn near 2 weeks of damn near 100% occupancy, now people have choices and they go, wait, we can stay here now so we can go. Whereas this year, they couldn't go because they were looking around and they're like, wait, there's only a few units available. This villa, this condo, you guys saw the numbers. And people were like, well, I don't want to stay out there, so we're not going to go. So that's what's going to happen when more choices arrive, more people are coming. Just watch. This is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. So I guarantee you, I'm not guaranteeing, but I'm saying there'll be more than 5 million by 2025 in the Punta Cana area. And here's the other factor. They might be calling it Punta Cana Airport. Remember what I said? I count La Romana as part of the ecosystem with Punta Cana because some people are going to land at La Romana Airport because occasionally it might be cheaper. And then they're going to drive 20 miles, 25 minutes, 30 minutes and say, I'm going to stay at, let's say, Verone area, right? Which could be a Larimar, which could be a cruise on land, which could be another project I'm sure that's going to be out there. So they'll drive 25, 30 minutes to there and be in Punta Cana, but won't be registered. That's why I'm including it, because you can land at either airport and you drive 25, 30 minutes and you're going to be in each other's zone. So that's why I'm pretty sure some people land at Punta Cana and they drive all the way to La Romana by eBay. There's a few people that land at La Romana and drive up to Punta Cana area. It's going to be a cross. And just like you have people from Santo Domingo on the island that lives there, they vacation in La Romana and Punta Cana and Cap Cana. So there's this ecosystem that goes that's not going to be accounted for most often. So this is why I think it's going to happen. We're going to get all over it. And so by the numbers, so we're going to have 9.5 million people, 9 million to 9.5 million people, 2025. So I guess we're going to have 7 million people, 6.5, 6 million to 7 million people in Punta Cana. If you go by my numbers, that's what we're going to have. So we're going to beat the Department of Tourism numbers. So these guys are going to be correct. They will be right, in my opinion, because they're already going to be right, in my opinion. This year, there could already be 4 million visitors this year in Punta Cana area. So I think it could get interesting. And more people are going over there because more people are finding out about it. Just to visit, just to go look at properties, they get automatic tourists and visitors coming in. So you're going to have a lot more people coming based on, I'm starting a business. What's going on over here? Let's go visit. Let's see if it's worthwhile going over there. You're going to have hundreds of thousands of extra people this year. And don't forget, there's something else that's happening over here, everybody. There's a war going on with Russia, Ukraine. So there's countries that are affecting. That's 200 to 300,000 people annually that's not coming to the Dominican Republic because of that. Maybe more. But I know for a fact there are generally 20,000 to 30,000 Russians, Ukrainians coming in every month. So there you have your 240, but I'm pretty sure other countries are affected as well. So you might be missing 200 to 300,000 annually on this number. What's going to happen when that's resolved? Now, all of a sudden, those people are coming. And remember, they just did start adding Russian transportation airplanes. They expanded them to the Dominican Republic and Punta Cana Airport. Now they obviously aren't coming. But you're talking about 250, 240,000 people that would be coming this year. These numbers would be even more. There'd be another 20,000 per month. There'd be another 60,000 people coming to Punta Cana. They would have been over 800,000 this month, or pretty damn close. It would have been pretty close. So just think of that. So you guys got to think of, there's all kind of things that are happening. People that come in on a cruise ship, they're just chilling for a minute, 5, 6, 7 hours, I'm assuming. They get back on. They're like, man, we could have stayed here. They're going to be coming. So you add extra cruise ships and people coming, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're going to go stay there. Now think about all the extra thousands of people that's actually going to fly in instead of just going on a boat and getting off for 7 hours, getting back on a boat and leaving. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be an ecosystem. They're creating it. It's going down. All right? Just keep that in mind. Get excited. Get your properties down below in the description. I have links to several properties, and there's some of them have the realtor's name, some don't. But get with those guys. Let them know you're from the SSN Nation, and you can still buy something for under $100,000. All right? You just got to know what you're buying. Cruise on lands under 100,000 for a studio. You can still buy a one bedroom under 100,000 at Larimar. You can still buy under 100, well, no, about 100,000 now at Seven Palms inside Vista Cana. 120,000, you can buy something downtown. A one bedroom, that is, downtown. All right, at Cana Ring. You can buy, well, that's about the least expensive. After that, you're going to start rising into two-bedroom units, and they're going to start getting to be 120 at Larimar. All right, Riviera Castania, they're going to be around 140. So again, they're starting to rise, ladies and gentlemen. It used to be 3 years ago, you could have gotten a one bedroom, 69,000, 79,000, 50,000. Those days are hard to come by with projects that have amenities. So all I'm saying is you need to seriously consider no credit check, no qualifying pre-construction financing. And with Sabana in-house financing, they'll do up to 8 years, 9.7% with 10% down. That's Sabana inside Vista Cana. I spoke about that in the earlier video today. Talk to Nestor. We have Dr. Tree, who had the best deal so far of every person that I know. I know that Nadine, she's probably listening. She also bought at Sabana when it first came out. So Nadine and her are the big time winners thus far in this short period. Victor Marrero, he's also a winner. His unit, 231,000. They now sell them for like 389, $400,000. All right. So similar situation with that, what happened at Sabana. These ladies, they were able to get their units under 300 grand, 280. And in fact, I think one of them might have gotten one for 235 or 240. Theirs are worth 400,000 now. Big winners already. Can you imagine once things are built, how much these properties are going to be worth? 600,000, 500,000, clearly doubling their money. That's what we want. And if you can get triple, it could be triple. So again, people are setting themselves in the greatest positions. We have George's Charles. He has a 2,600 square foot villa that sleeps, has a, what is that, 5 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms. Each bedroom has its own bathroom. It's crazy. But 2,600 square feet. That thing could be worth 600, 700,000 in 3 years, 2 years. Because there's not too many places that is that size that's going to be in a normal, regular neighborhood with amenities. Let's call it what it is. People spend more than that in Cocatel. All they have is a golf course and pool. So think about if you have restaurant, bars, man-made beach, basketball courts, tennis courts, soccer fields, volleyball courts, all is inside your complex. Not a golf course, but you have all these family-friendly things. Now the value, what is that value? We don't know. We're going to find out. All right, Raydell Cabezas is in the house, another Dominican Republic real estate investor. And by the way, he's at the beach, ladies and gentlemen. He has one of the best units. If somebody buys a penthouse unit for $637,000 that the beach has for sale right now, Raydell Cabezas is going to be another one of those big winners because his value would have doubled. Well, everybody at the beach's value would damn near double, quite frankly. So they would all be winners. But if you bought something for 300,000 and you can now sell it for 600,000, that's a $300,000 equity. And we're not even in a real estate boom yet. Imagine what's going to happen when there's a real estate boom. The value is going to increase even more. Very, very nice. Good evening, Raydell Cabezas, and once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to your name. And he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, SSN Nation. Raydell Cabezas, hopefully you heard about the great news. All-time records, Dominican Republic tourism, 2 million tourists in the last 3 months by air to the Dominican Republic. I think I like that number. That means 1.4 million based on the 67 or 70 percentile. 1.4 million and a little over came through the Punta Cana airport. Raydell Cabezas, you know what that means? That's almost 500,000 visitors coming through the Punta Cana airport every month over the last 3 months. That means 128, 129,000 tourists every week. That means if somebody has a 4-bedroom penthouse that can sleep 10 people, that means it could be worth 600, $700 per night, $500 per night, $400 per night. Who knows? But it could be very valuable. So once again, this is going to be awesome. All right. Are you planning to use the bank's money to pay for the other half of the property? I am still on the fence whether to get a loan for the entire amount, borrow just a portion, or just pay cash. Victor Morel, it all depends. The landscape is going to be different a year from now. So you're going to be able to make a choice a year from now. Is it going to be worth what? That's the question. Can you borrow and it's at 6.5%? Or are you going to borrow and it has to be at 10%? That's what's going to be the deciding factors, right? But will it matter that much? So let's just put things in perspective. What happens if something crazy happens? And instead of what's happening now, the rents are ranging from 95 to 170 a night. What if everything ranges from 200 or let's say 185 to $260 per night? And what if occupancy is 60%? What then? Because then it makes no sense for you to use your money. You should be using your money to make more money and use the bank's money from the rental income, and both the money you spent, the other cash you were going to pay, that's generating revenue, and then the property that you have finances generating revenue, both combined will pay for the mortgage. So you don't have to do anything and worry about it. That's going to be the magic question. What if it's $100 more, 195 to 250 per night, and you're getting 60%? Or even 50%, 14 nights a week, and you're getting on average $200 a night. That's $2,800 less a quarter of it. So you're getting roughly $2,000 a month, let's say. 1,800 a month, 2,000 per month. That's going to be enough to cover your $100,000 that you only owe $900 a month, maybe $700 a month on your mortgage. So you're going to have it covered easily with just a 50% occupancy. So why not use the other money to make more money? Even if you put it in your dividend funds and you're getting 10 or 12% on 100 grand, that's 1,000 per month. That also pays for it if you wanted to use it that way. But all I'm saying is it all depends. You got to be flexible. But in 2 years, if you have something that's going to be done at the end of 2024 and into 2025, you're going to have the best interest rates. So it's going to be interesting. Yes, I hear Eric. Really excited. My daughter went yesterday. Airport was absolutely packed. Yes, Raydell Cabezas. It's going to be a record this month. I mean, I shouldn't say record. It'll be a record for April probably, but I think it'll be a little less. I think they might be at the 700,000 point. If they do exactly what they did this month, then we know what's going to happen in the next June. They'll have 600 and some thousand, and then July I'll have 700 and some thousand. We would be on track for 3 months or 7 months. Victor Morel, guess what's going to happen at the end of July into August? Can you imagine having 4 million visitors run through Punta Cana already in 2023? Forget 2025. 2023. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. We have 2,000,000 already. Another 2,000,000 could be 4,000,000, and then in August, we could be at 4.5 easily, and then we know it's rainy season, hurricane season, so we're gonna have a downturn, but even during that downturn, we still had 500,000 people coming, so it's gonna be very close. Very, very close to getting 4,000,000 this year well, actually, we're gonna hit 4,000,000, I think. I think we're gonna get there. It's gonna be very interesting. It's exciting for me because numbers in my head are bouncing all over the walls because I'm thinking 2,000,000 tourists, 67%, 70% are gonna be in La Romana, Punta Cana Airport. Some people landing at La Romana, some of those stay at Punta Cana, some people at the Punta Cana Airport stay in La Romana area, or for that matter, Macau and even above Macau, all in the whole region, Cap Cana, all over. So that's what we want. So I'm excited right now, and no project, even the ones that I was getting before, are done, which makes it very interesting. Any delay is good for everybody. I just got to say, you might not like it, but any delay is good because the credit is going to tighten up over the next 6, 7 months. So if you get delivery in 2024, that's going to be better than getting a delivery at the end of 2023 or in the next 3 months, 4 months when they start tightening up credit and they've already started. Mr. Koo was here on Friday. He said the minimum score now is 725. They're going to have a high interest rate. So it's no longer 680. They've already started, just so you guys understand. So we're going to win. Whoever has it. So you shouldn't be a little too upset if they say delivery is going to be at the end of 2024 or in 2025. In fact, you should be rejoicing because right now you don't want to actually have to pay now because you're going to end up a 9.5, a 10 or 12% loan potentially if you have to go through a Dominican bank using pesos. Using dollars, you're going to be getting it a lot lower. You can be in the 6.5s, 7.5s, 5.5 potentially, depending on how long you want the loan. So these are the things, ladies and gentlemen. You have to start thinking of the numbers. In case you just showed up, we were talking about this right here. This right. Why is this showing on the screen? Let's see. Okay. Nope, it should be here. It's taking a second. So, in case you just showed up, I got to take this off. About this number right here. This 2,076,171. This is for the Dominican Republic. All right. Visitors in March. This includes the cruise guys. 1,020,000 is a record. Never before seen number. The first quarter, including cruises, is 2.882 million visitors. 2,076,171 tourists by air. That's the only number I care about mainly. I love for the Dominican Republic people, the cruise passengers at all-time record highs as well. Collado predicted the country will receive 7.8 million tourists by the end of the year. All right. Okay. I agree. It's fine. He can say that. I agree with this. I agree. So now, if he's talking about combined with cruises, then if that's a slam dunk. If he's talking about air, which is what I'm looking for, we want air cruises, air passengers, 7 million. That's what we want. Clearly, we're going to have cruises of nearly 200,000 passengers every month. So we're going to have our 2.4 million, 2 million. Here's the other thing. Occupancy rates exceeded 80% at the general level. In case you just got here, Radel Cabezas, the average stay was 8 days. That's 7 nights, 8 days in the month of March. That bodes well for all condo villa owners. That means you could have 7-night rentals. That's where your bread and butter is. 7-night rentals or more is the bread and butter. If you have 4 people, 3 people during a month do 7-night rentals, you guys, you're going to be at 70% occupancy. That's all you need. 3 people, and then you could have another 2 people doing 3 or 4-night rentals. And your occupancy could clearly be somewhere near 80% yourself. But again, it's going to depend on price. It's going to depend on a lot of different factors where people want to stay. Are they going to stay in a regular old residential neighborhood, or are they going to stay in a neighborhood that's going to have extra amenities? That is yet to be seen. But I'm going to tell you, traditionally, from renters, they want to get value for their money. They want value for their money. This is why somebody can't wrap their head around why somebody would stay at Hard Rock Punta Cana and spend $1,300 per night. You would think that would be crazy, right? You would say, no, no, they can't be 85, 90, 95% occupied. How is this possible? People are going to spend 7 nights and spend 10 grand. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Why? The service, the amenities, the restaurants, the nightclubs, the casino, the entertainment, the beach, the multiple pools, now water park, full-blown water park is there. Many, many restaurants, all you can eat, all you can drink. Jacuzzis in the rooms or on the balconies. So people are spending it because of 5-star treatment, upscale luxury, all of that comes into play. And you don't think that somebody's going to spend that if they're not in an all-inclusive, if you're in a 5-star luxury upscale location, what do you think? People are going to go, "Oh yeah, I'll pay 100 a night." No, they're going to say the same thing that they're doing at the 5-star hotels and properties. They want to pay 500 per night for those 5-star places, then they'll pay you 3 or 400 per night for your 5-star location. That's why Larimar's exciting, Atlantida's exciting, Oceana's exciting. Cruise on land is a whole nother animal, but if you just take away and treat them as a hotel, that's gonna be exciting. So, now you start bringing in all these elements that people don't realize when they're renting. Again, I'm a big believer luxury upscale. Remember, I told you guys I would go luxury upscale all the time because you're gonna get your money's worth. All right, let's see. David Collado has done an outstanding job as DR's Minister of Tourism. Yes, he has, along with Abinader. He has aggressively introduced DR to the world. You got that right. The word on the streets is that he could be the president in the future. Yes. Yes, Victor Marrero, exactly. I've seen some of his stuff when he was mayor. So he could, and but he's gonna have to get rid of Abinader, and Abinader's been right there with them, allowing it to happen. They're going around the world promoting the Dominican Republic. And quite frankly, you have to. You have to because America's not the only place. Europe's not the only place. You got North America, you have South America, you have Asia. All these people don't know anything about the investment opportunity that's in the Dominican Republic. They're letting people know. And they're going to the sources where you need to be. You need to be in Europe. You need to be in America. And now you need to be in other parts of Europe as well. And you need to be in South America. They're doing that. That's the places where people in these hemispheres, these north and south, eastern, west hemispheres, they're going to come. As far away as Russia's come to the DR. That's crazy to me. That's a long way. No matter which way you go, cross past the West Coast or come across the other way and go through Europe, that's a long way. So they have people willing to do that. Roughly 20,000 Russians come every month. So That's crazy, but not right now. So add them into the mix next year that we're not having in this year. I'm assuming everything's going to be resolved by the end of this year. But I agree with this 110%. He could be. That's why he was mayor. He took on the tourism. He showed what he can do. And people are going to love it because he's bringing jobs with opening up the cruise ports and adding. So now Dominicans and any tourists can open up their stores or businesses. He's building an ecosystem where they tax like America used to tax businesses. So therefore, they're going to be able to build their infrastructure from the taxes from their newly acquired real estate investors and taxes from the new businesses that they've created. So they're going to be bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars that they weren't previously bringing in to their government coffers. Now, are they going to go third world banana republic and do what most of the time they do, spend all the money on their fun and games? Or are they going to reinvest it back into the Dominican Republic people? So we're going to find out how this all plays out. Hopefully, we don't have a third world country scenario where they're using all the money to build themselves palaces and stuff, right? And just buying gold and clothes and 20 cars, 50 cars for a son and 20 cars for another son, and letting the sons live in Beverly Hills and mansions and doing all that crazy crap. Then the DR is going to be like one of the go-to spots for a long time, as long as they don't mess it up. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know what? It's 1 hour, 40 minutes, almost 2 hours in. Time flies when we have a little fun, especially when we're talking about real estate investing, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. We're talking about Punta Cana. We're talking about Miami, lofty Brickell, downtown Miami, by the water, on the water, in a perfect location, already approved for Airbnb. And yes, it's a 5-star like property. But in Miami, a 5-star property is going to cost you an arm and a leg. So yeah, a 1-bedroom unit might cost you $800,000. Right, exactly. All right, just to be warned, loftybrickell.com. You can go there and hook up with Sophia. Do Sophia at loftybrickell.com. She's a great realtor, very nice woman. So if you do business at Lofty Brickell, let her know Eric, SSN Nation sent you. Right? So here's what I'm going to do. A little commercial, 2 minutes, get yourself some water. But you know what? I'm going to play, since I got to play the number one spot. Let me see if I have Larimar on here. Oh, I don't have the right. Well, it don't matter. I'll play. I can never find the Larimar video. Okay, we'll go with this one. 2 minute 56 seconds. Can't play this one. Sorry, guys. Can't play that one. There's a reason. Sorry. I'm just going to tell you it has the music on it. I have to go with something where it's been edited. Here we go. It's not going to be 5 minutes. Let's go with, you guys have seen it before. We'll go with this one coming up. All right, so let me see if I can, nope, too big. All right, well, we'll go with the old video. So here we go. Check this out. It's going to have to play. We'll edit it later. right, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. That's Larimar, the number one project in Punta Cana, in my opinion. Somebody else, they said, no, 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 Eric. Atlantida is better than Larimar. They said, no, no, Harbor Bay is better than Larimar. They said, no, there's other projects. I said, I want to hear what these other projects are. And so let's count the ways. Now, I'm going to end this tonight, but you guys know we've been on this for years. And I try to put things in your head over and over again. Amenities, amenities, amenities going to matter ultimately. When you have a large percentage of a population, tourists, coming to a certain area. So when people go to Orlando, I'm going to use Orlando because Mickey Mouse, or I can use Anaheim. Those are hot spots year after year after year. People choose their accommodations based on their needs. So when people are coming there and they used to see water parks off of the freeway, off of 4, then the accommodation side said, you know what? What if we start putting water parks in our own complex? What would happen? In fact, we see all these restaurants and bars along 192 and off the freeway. What if we put restaurant and bars inside of our places? All of a sudden, they created their own ecosystem where they said, people were like, well, we don't have to leave. We'll just eat here because you gave us like 4 choices. And then they started going, well, wait, you're including a water park feature with this location? Okay. Then that way we don't have to leave to those water parks off the freeway. So we'll just stay here and spend our money here. Wait, you have a shuttle that's going to take us to Universal, SeaWorld, or Disney? Oh, yeah, but it's going to cost you $5 per person. Oh, well, parking is like $20, $30, $40. So what's the difference? All of that started adding up where people started saying, okay, I'm going to stay at these resorts. And then all of a sudden it turned into, how far are you away from nightclubs, bars, and restaurants? Shopping. Oh, you can just walk across this bridge. Now all of a sudden your spot is more popular. Or I'm right up the street from the outlets. And now all of a sudden, people want to stay at your location. All of this has a value. You just have to figure out how to relay this value to your customer if you're going to be renting out short-term rentals. And remember, other people in your complex are also going to be renting out. So as I've always alluded to, you have to make your place, for whatever reason, stand out above everyone else's, if you can. Not everybody can afford it. Everybody can do it. Not everybody has good taste. But there's certain things that you can do to make it just simple, right? With appliances to begin with. I went over that several times before. So just keep all of this in mind. And congratulations for all the nearly 50 people that has purchased in the Dominican Republic. You all are going to win. Anybody that joins into getting something in the Dominican Republic, the rest of this year, you should be thinking, you see the numbers. They can't keep these prices down and depressed much longer. They will after this hot year so far has started. But next hot year, I think we're going to be done. In other words, what I mean is relatively inexpensive, where you can actually buy something, put down $10,000, and then pay like $700 or $500 a month. It's going to be more like putting down 10%, but it's going to be closer to 15 to 20, 25,000. And then your payments are going to be roughly 2,000 per month, or 1,750 if you try to go the pre-construction route. So we're trying to avoid that. You have one last reprieve, because Vista Cana still has projects that are saying, here, we'll give you something for under 200,000, 100,000, 115,000 for a 1-bedroom. You still have downtown, same thing. But what you don't have is 1-bedroom units for $69,000, $70,000 anymore. Those are apparently gone. Larimar still has 89.5, a few more units left, but it won't have Ocean View more than likely. But still, there's only a few under 100,000 anymore. Those days are going bye-bye. So you better get in now, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just going to end it tonight. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I thank you so much for your support, everybody with the icon. That means they're joined and become members of the channel. I want to thank you, subscribers, for also being here and watching. But please make sure you share the video. There's still people out here that don't know that they can get into real estate without credit. You do need money, but you can get in without credit. And you can also get a lot of equity for your money. Not saying that you need to use it, but at least if you have to use it, you can buy another piece of an asset that's going to return value to you. So set yourself up now, ladies and gentlemen, for your future, because once this door closes, which is coming up in 2 years, I believe the door is going to close. Things are going to be on steroids. The values are going to increase across all asset classes beyond what we've seen previously, where you're going to be shaking your head like, wait, how is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square foot house worth $1 million? It's already happening in California. But can you imagine the rest of the country being like that? It's going to be bad. So get yourself prepared now. All right. If we have any other questions, let me know, because otherwise we're about to wrap this up this evening. And again, I love you all. Thank you so much for your support over all these years. We're still going to go along for the ride, and hopefully you're coming along with us. And then you're going to find out. You'll be like, oh, this is what they've been working on for the last year or two. That's exactly right. We're still working, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, by the way, speaking of the hotel projects, hopefully I'll have some news if this hotel project that I've been working on, if I'm going to be able to talk about it in about a week. So stay tuned. Things are probably going to go down. I'm feeling good about it. That's just that you just never know, because there's always a gray area what somebody can ask when there's a great deal presented. Then they try to get their fingers in more than of the pie than what they should receive. So we're going to find out if this is going to be the case or not. So hopefully that goes down. So stay tuned. I should know something by, well, probably a week from now. I should know something. So that should be good. So next members only chat on Wednesday. We'll talk about that. And we got a lot more to talk about. So hopefully I'll see you on Friday at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate you all being here. So just remember out here, it's always hard and you have to do something about it. You can't give up. We're here for you. If you need some help, comment down below. And with all that said, make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.